Hello, good morning, good day, good evening. Welcome again to our lessons on instructional design. And today we are going to talk about context analysis. Sorry, we're going to talk about content analysis. We have already done context and we have already done instructional problem. And we say to do instructional design, you must do an instructional problem and you must do a context. If you haven't looked at that, please check my video on context analysis and instructional problem. But content analysis is a description of the content that the user has to master or learn. And that content contains four parts: the facts, the concepts, the rules, and the procedures. So we're going to take the content and we're going to break it down. We're going to think about all the facts that we'll be teaching the student and we will break it down into facts. Then we'll take the content and look for concepts. Concepts are those words that the student need to understand. If you're teaching the student about anything, for instance, suppose you're teaching them shapes. In teaching them about shapes, you might say many things around us have shapes. That's a fact, right? You might say the common shapes are a square, a circle, and a rectangle. That's a fact. So you can see that a fact is just an expression expressing some truth about something. And this is called a fact. It's expressing factual information and you want the student to know it. So take your content that you have decided to do a lesson on and look for facts that you want the student to know. Secondly, you want them to be able to understand. When we talk about concept, we talk about understanding. If you think about a glossary in a book, at the end of the book you have a glossary, it has all the terms there that the person needs to understand. And so you can think of concepts as any term or word that will be used in your lesson for which you need to have a description. So if you're talking about shapes again, you might use the word square. And you might say square means 90 degrees. You might say parallel means two lines that run in the same direction. So whenever we talk concepts, there are two parts of the concept: the name of the concept and the meaning of the concept. Always remember that. When you write up concepts, you write the name of the concept. So you say the name of the concept is parallel. And then what does parallel mean? Two lines running in the same direction, but they never meet. That's parallel. You might say rectangle. Well, what is rectangle? A rectangle is a shape that has four angles being right angles and two sides longer than two other sides which are shorter. Square. A square is a shape that has four sides all equal in length and all angles being a rectangle. And all angles being a right angle. That's a square. So you see, we are giving names, or we are naming concepts, and we are giving the description of those concepts. Fourthly, a rule. What you're teaching, are there rules? Well, if there are rules, then you must state those rules, right? You might say, never break the egg directly into the mixing bowl. That's a rule, right? Never break the egg directly into the mixing bowl, sorry. That's a rule. So that in your lesson, are there any rules? Are there any set of instructions or guidelines that the student must follow? If there are, those must be stated. And fourthly, there are procedures. Procedures are steps that the student must follow in order to do something. You might say, hold the nail straight. Hit the nail on the head with the hammer. Give it 3 gentle taps until it is stuck in the wood. Then increase the intensity of the strokes. These are procedures. So you can see that procedures are those pieces of information that are given to the person in order to do something. If you're changing a tire, you're teaching the student how to change a tire. You might say, take, take the lift out of the trunk. You might say, place it under the car. You might say, ensure that the car, the handbrakes of the car is up. Begin to wind the lift or the jack. These are steps. So again, there are 4 pieces of information you need to provide to the student. They are the facts in what they're supposed to learn. They are the concepts, that's what they're supposed to understand. 3, there are rules, which are principles and guidelines which they must follow. And procedures, which are the facts, sorry, procedures, which are the procedures or steps. One by one, these steps must be followed in order to do something. And that's analysis of the content. So you now go through your content and you must specify all of these because these are what you have to teach the student and the student must know them in order to master what you're teaching them. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye.